please. Okay, the first question we have here is, what would you do to help preserve the neighborhood identities in your district?
That's a fantastic question. We have a number of different neighborhoods within District 6 that have their own community identity, that have their own needs, their own wants, and in terms of public safety, in terms of infrastructure. And what I want to do is make sure that all of them have a voice, and all of them have an identity, and are active and participating in letting us know what you want as neighbors and residents of those neighborhoods. And one thing that we're starting to do, I want to expand upon, is within our infrastructure and our budget issues. Right now, we're doing a great job of trying to reach out to everybody through our community planning groups to get your priorities for the projects you want to see in your neighborhoods. I think we can expand that and looking forward at individual neighborhoods as opposed to the planning group as a whole, and make sure that their voices are heard when it comes to what we want to spend our money on in terms of infrastructure. And secondly, what I want to do is make sure that the budget process comes back to you. We started that a few years ago in the city of San Diego with our San Diego Speak series, and that somehow got lost during the last few years. What I want to do is make sure that you have an understanding of the city's budget. What are your priorities? Where are we spending our money on? Not just in the input process of giving your ideas, but also coming back to you after the budget's adopted. And that was one of the things that I think was a flaw during the San Diego Speak series, is that we didn't come back to you telling you what ideas we implemented, where our money is going to be spent for that upcoming year.
And Chris, final thoughts?
And that's what I want to do. Thank you.
And just so you guys can see the hand, Will, if you could raise your hand at 30 and then all the way up at 10, so they can see you too. Carol?
So this is a really good question, and it has recently arisen when some of you may have seen the media coverage of the events that were occurring with Sorrento Valley and Mira Mesa. And the fact of the matter is, neighborhoods do have their own identities. This is an important thing because people choose their neighborhoods for a reason, right? And I think we definitely need to value that, we need to recognize that, and we need to respect that process of community, sort of the development of community identities and neighborhood identities. Part of what we do is actually really work on engaging and expanding the membership of some of these groups. The community planning group is one of them. We have a lot of really great folks, for instance, in the Mira Mesa Community Planning Group who have been working for a lot of years, decades, some of them. And the question is, they've done a really good job, actually, of really trying to serve the needs of everyone here. I would really like to see us do more to bring other folks in. Actually say, you know what, even if you're not a board member, you should be coming to these meetings. These meetings are taking place, they're occurring, and you have a voice. You have a voice and you have a part in this. I would also like to really look at the participatory budgeting model, right? So this is something that is along the lines of what Chris just mentioned, which is how we engage the community directly in being part of the budgeting that happens at the city level.
And Carol, you can wrap it up as well.
Sure. So what happens there really is that we ask folks, what is it that you want to see happen? And then we actually let you have a voice, and not just a voice, but a vote in what actually gets landed onto a budget. That's something that I, as a council member, would be committed to doing, and I'd be working really hard to find the discretionary funds to be able to, even at a small level, bring that project here and pilot it in District 6.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is a really great question. Well, each community in District 6 had its own identity. Mira Mesa is a very well-mixed community here. We have Caucasian, we have Filipino, we have Vietnamese, we have Mexican here, along with other communities. Claremont, pretty much the same way. Very well-mixed group of people. PQ, to an extent, is the same way. So what I want to do is, I want to go into each community, gather all, you know, when I'm the city council member, I want to get all the community leaders together and ask them, what is it that you need in your community? What is the problem here? How is the tax problem, you know, for your business? How is the street for your, in your neighborhood? How the road? How the police present? Had the problem of the San Diego Police Department, which I have a great relationship with, they have been downsizing. Does it affect the safety in your neighborhood?
And Dee, if we could wrap it up too, please.
Right. Okay. you know, I'm a community organizer. Unlike my friend here, Chris K. You see, I am not a downtown developer guy. If you look at his website, he got a bunch of Ben Haddad, Keith Zone from Ace Parking, from George Hawking from building and downtown developer, Perry Daly from president of Manchester developer. If you elected him, all the money gonna go out District 6 and go straight to downtown. Me, I want to keep it here in District 6, where I search for Chelsea King, where I search for
It's Ms. Lee's turn. Thank you so much.
Vote for me, I'll keep my money here.
Thank
I'll
you.
possibly just pay out the way.
Okay,
Ms., please.
it's too early, right? You probably saw my message is putting our neighborhood first. So I understand that respecting neighborhood's identity is very, very important. And I think any neighborhoods that take pride and passionate about their neighborhood identities is a good thing. As long as we do it to be respectful and understand, agree to disagree, respectful with each other, with your neighbors. Because that's something that you always learn. You love your neighbor. And you have to talk to them. And so I support that very wholeheartedly. As a member of the Board of Education, and before I ran for school board, I'm used to going to neighborhoods to discuss about education. So I know how passionate they are about their neighborhoods. And by the way, we need to make sure that every neighborhood will be a good neighborhoods, because if we call our city as the finest city in the United States, we must have every neighborhood has to be a finest neighborhood in San Diego so that we can claim the slogan. So anything, I am very, very supportive of community identity.
Okay, thank you, Ms. And Will here has a sign here for your time so you can see him. And as we